Hi guys, I chose to do my persuasive speech on abortion pro-life, specifically against abortion pills. What I hope to accomplish today is to clearly express to you what abortion pills are and how they work, what birth control is and how it works, and why abortion pills are not a good route to take. First off, what abortion pills are is it's a pill that you would take up to 9 weeks after your first day of your menstrual cycle. It cancels a pregnancy, basically an at-home process. This is a picture of a simple box of what abortion pill would come in. That's the pill right down there at the bottom, very tiny. You go through a 3-step process when you decide you want to go through these steps. The first step you would take is you would go into your doctor, you would express to them your situation, and they would prescribe to you this abortion pill. You would go home and you would take it. They say that it takes up to a few days to fully work, but for most women it seems to have taken only a few hours. What it is it's breaking down your uterus and stops any continuation of the pregnancy. The second step you would take is you take a follow-up pill or an antibiotic that they would also give you, and what it does is it empties out everything out of your uterus. So the breaking down you just did in your system to get rid of the pregnancy has to come out of your system in some way, which is what this pill does. The third step you would take is you would go back into your doctors for a follow-up. They would check to make sure everything goes okay. They found out that about 97 out of 100 women it has worked, but for those few it hasn't, they have to go back in for what's called an aspiration abortion, which is basically like going into the hospital and getting it medically done versus at home. Birth control is a completely different process. I think a lot of people have kind of twisted what it is and how it works, and it's just confused everyone of what it really is. Just to show you, this is what a basic birth control box looks like. It's 28-day pill. And then this is also another kind of birth control. It's called Plan B 1-Step. It's like a prescribed birth control, but it's not prescribed. You can buy it over the counter anytime, as long as I think you're over 18, you're allowed to buy it. I'm not sure if they've changed that age. But anyways, birth control, what it is it stops the process of fertilization. Usually what happens is the egg and the sperm, they join and then are fertilized, and then it then attaches to the uterus wall, and that causes pregnancy. Birth control stops this process from even beginning. So it's not actually murdering a living human being, it's stopping from the living human being actually being made. So it keeps the joining of the egg and the sperm from happening, and it stops fertilization completely. It's made of hormones, and hormones are chemicals in your body, and it pretty much controls those hormones, which is the process of stopping any kind of fertilization. So to clearly express that, no, it's not abortion, it's not killing a child, it's stopping the process from happening completely. After talking to a few people about this, I was able to use them as a source. My mother and a personal friend had to go through the abortion process, not by choice, but because of medical situations. My mother was pregnant with my little brother, and in about 4 to 5 months he died inside of her, so she had to take this abortion pill so that she could get him out of her system. My personal friend, on the other hand, she was pregnant with 2 preemies beforehand, and when she got pregnant again, the doctor said her body couldn't handle it and that the 3rd child wouldn't live because the first 2 barely did, so she had to go through that process as well. After looking through Time Magazine and Planned Parenthood and WebMD and all those types of sources, a lot of the women were saying, oh, it was a simple process, it felt like miscarriage, wasn't a big deal, there was no emotional instability. But the reason I think being for that is because people are referring to a baby as a fetus. A fetus is a scientific term for a baby. And yes, it's easier to not get connected to the term fetus because it's called fetus. How do you connect to a scientific term? But what they're referring to is this. This is what people are referring to as a fetus. This is actually my little brother. That is a baby. And people are not emotional unstable because they're referring to what is a baby, a fetus. Abortion is murder. abortion is selfish. When you put yourself in a situation where you want to make yourself happy and then you find out that you become pregnant because of the consequences of making yourself happy, how do you commit murder to trying to further happiness? There's always going to be that pit inside of you that has killed someone, because it is a living, breathing human being. Once you find out you're pregnant and your doctor has confirmed you're pregnant and you decide to abort that living human being, it's murder. And a lot of people don't think about that because they're referring to it as a fetus, and it's not technically a baby, but it is. Once that fertilization has happened and it's attached to the uterine wall, it's a living, breathing human being. And I don't think that abortion is right. I think it is murder, and that a lot of people really need to consider, if you're going to take the step of making yourself happy, you need to realize what could potentially happen. So I don't think that abortion pill is a right or good process. It definitely causes emotional instability, and it can cause a lot of problems in the future for any person that decides to go through with it. I hope that I clearly explained to you what the difference of the two are, and you can then come up with your own opinion on it, and hopefully it'll be the right opinion and that you can clearly express it to others that may be confused. Thank you.